Recently, I watched Mockingjay Part 2, which is the very last installment of the Hunger Games series. I watched this movie in the Colossus Vaughan Cinemas Theatre in Toronto, Ontario. For those of you who are new to the Hunger Games fandom, here's a quick overview. The Hunger Games series was written by Suzanne Collins, a well-known American television writer and novelist. Director Francis Lawrence follows Collins' plot and recreates the capturing story of a girl who fights for a better world while all she loves is at stake. The original book series is in the form of a trilogy, with Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay being the consisting books. In the movie series, the last installment, Mockingjay, was stretched out into 2 movies, resulting in a 4-movie series. A lot of people said that this was done for the money and suspense. As the last movie was released, in Canada only a few weeks ago, on November 20th, 2015, the story saw its victorious end. Collins' 3 novels were labeled New York Times bestsellers, and their success only escalated higher with the release of the 4 tie-in movies. Mockingjay Part 2 falls into 4 major genres, being dystopian, romance, adventure, and sci-fi. The movie was 137 minutes in length and given a parental rating of 14A. The general movie was designed for ages 12 and up, but because of intense scenes and thematic elements, the movie was rated more carefully. This movie has quite a bit of violence and some very intense scenes. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10 for violence and gore. For sex and nudity, I'd give it a 1 out of 10 because there really were only brief scenes of kissing. For profanity, there really wasn't a lot. I can't even remember an example of profanity in this particular movie. For frightening and intense scenes, this movie probably should be given a 9 out of 10. Most of the movie involves gory deaths and or physical fighting. There are a few scenes where death is implied as well, and the implications are not exactly vague. There are definitely some major actors in this film. Here's a quick list of the major actors involved. Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss Everdeen, the main character. Josh Hutcherson as Peeta Mellark, possible love interest for Katniss. Liam Hemsworth as Gale Hawthorne, second love interest for Katniss. Woody Harrelson as Haymitch Abernathy. Donald Sutherland as President Snow. Philip Seymour Hoffman as Plutarch Heavensbee. Julianne Moore as President McCoy. Willow Shields as Primrose Everdeen, Sam Claflin as Finnick Odair, and Elizabeth Banks as Effie Trinket. A synopsis of the story is as follows. In Mockingjay Part 2, the very last movie in the Hunger Games series, Katniss Everdeen fights alongside her followers against the capital Panem and President Snow. During her fight, she deals with the loss of loved ones, the confusion over where loyalties lie, and the desperation of ending a seemingly impossible war against such a strong enemy. As the 12 districts around her crumble in the hands of President Snow, Katniss holds on to her true purpose of surviving and keeping those she holds dear alive with her. This final release in the Hunger Games series completes the story of Katniss Everdeen's fight for freedom and survival. I really enjoyed Mockingjay Part 2. It was definitely worth the wait, and I believe it ended the series very well. The entire series is an inspiration for hope, and it encourages people to hold on to what is true, to fight for what you hold dear. In Katniss's case, this would be freedom, family, and humanity. This last movie in the series definitely holds a victorious ending and thoroughly concluded the overall story. I think the theme of Mockingjay Part 2 is hope and fighting for what you stand for. Katniss Everdeen definitely fought her way through this series and gave the rest of the districts hope for a brighter future. She stands as a symbol of the rebellion and never gave up, even when all seemed hopeless, impossible, or lost. The movie was very easy to follow and quite believable. None of the concepts were far-fetched. The actors were superb and reflected Collins' image of them quite well, in my opinion. As a personal view on the characters, I find Katniss Everdeen quite pathetic and annoying, but I've been told by some of the devoted fans that Katniss can't be expected to act any other way because of all that she's gone through. Which is a good point, but I personally would want a better role model for a symbol of rebellion. However, I definitely believe that the film is worth seeing. Overall, to give it a 9 out of 10.